Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello students, we will move on to the third chapter of HRM, Human Resource Policies. This is Module 3, Lecture 1. I am Dr. Shoma Sengupta, Associate Professor, Commerce, Kamala Nehru College, University of Delhi, and this project is undertaken under DTH Swayam Prabha, MHRD, New Delhi. In this module, we will cover the following topics: concept and nature of HR policies, significance, types, scopes, and formulation of HR policies, role of HR department in policy formulation, essentials of human resource policies. In lecture 1, we will cover the first 3 topics. Now, what are policies first of all? Policies are guidelines to action. In an organization, for performing different type of tasks, there should be a specific policy and the manager should refer to this policy whenever they have to take certain decisions. So it will promote consistency in the organization even if the managers change or one manager retires and another manager takes up his position, the policies will remain there and that new one will refer to these policies only. So there will be consistency in performing the task. So what are HR policies then? I will take up one definition given by Dale Yoder. Human resource or labor or industrial relations policy provides guidelines for a wide variety of employment relationships in the organization. These guidelines identify the organization's intentions in recruitment, selection, promotion, development, compensation, motivation, and otherwise leading and directing people in the working organization. So human resource policies serve as a roadmap for managers, especially the HR managers. So there are different types of decisions to be taken, tasks or functions are there. For each of the function of HR, you can have a policy. And as I told you that even people may come, managers may come, managers may go, the policies will always be there which will guide the position holder. And there it will ensure that organization is not run at the whims and fancies of the new manager, but it will be in accordance to the policy. Now coming to the characteristics of HR policies. Policy, whenever we talk about policy, they are nothing but just a plan. And they are, especially here, we consider it as standing plan. Policies are standing plans. That means the plans to which we refer again and again. So whenever there is an issue relating to any of the area, then the specific policy meant for that area is referred to by the manager. Suppose we take the example of promotion policy. You know that promotions can be given on the basis of seniority, merit, or any combination of the two or any other basis. Now, so that there should not be any anomalies in taking decision regarding promotion of people, we can have a promotion policy. So whoever is the manager who is concerned with giving promotions to the employees, he will refer to the promotion policy, and even the employees will know in advance what the promotion policy is all about in the organization. So this is a standing plan. Then the second characteristic is it is derived from HR objectives of the organization. So you know that the HR objectives in itself are derived from the overall organizational objectives, and the HR policies are derived from the HR objectives. So whatever the objectives are, accordingly the policies are created. Now next is general statement of broad understanding. These policies are general statements. So there is a scope there that first of all the managers will refer to these HR policies whenever there is a concerned problem. But These are general statements. Within that, while implementing, the HR manager has to use his abilities to find out whether it is suitable for the situation or not. So he will evaluate them, and accordingly he will implement them. Then HR policies reflects the intentions of the top management as well. Whatever is the top management intention, how to deal with the employees, whether it is say kind of an democratic or participatory style of working is there in the organization or not, that will be reflected in the policies also. If it is a say democratically managed company where more delegation of authority or decentralized kind of structure is there, so that will be reflected in the HR policies also. Then SAR policies there will give more power to the concerned people. Now the next characteristics is framed by HR department and top management. So we have discussed it in previous modules that although the final decision of policy framing and everything depends upon the line managers, especially the top management and the departmental heads, but HR department not only initiates such policies but also help them in framing the policies as well as implementation of the policies. Okay, coming to the objectives of HR policies. The first one is uniformity and consistency. If there are HR policies for different matters, it will ensure uniformity and consistency in the organization, and there will be no case of discrimination or favoritism in the organization. So whenever there is an issue, the manager will take decisions according to the HR policies. So question of discrimination and favoritism will not be there, and the workers will find it very objective. Then the next one is prompt decision making. So if for various issues HR policies are there, then what will happen? You need not waste your time in taking decisions. You can refer to the policy according to the situation and take the decisions. So this saves the time of the managers, because most of the time the decisions are routine kind of decision, and for that all the policies are already there. Then the next is continuity and stability. As we have discussed in the definition also, this HR policy are guidelines to action. So it will ensure that there is continuity of decision making. It means that even if the manager retires or leaves the organization, the overall philosophy or the motive with which the policy has been framed will be carried on by the new manager as well. So until and unless there are change is required in the policies and some changes are introduced, otherwise the policy will go on. So abruptly there will not be any change in the managing the people or in taking decision regarding a particular aspect. So it will ensure continuity and stability. Then next is clear thinking. Whenever policies are framed and they are there in the organization, the manager while taking decision, he has clear thinking. Already people have researched and they have created the policy. So the manager's task is without any favoritism or any discrimination, just follow the policies according to the situation. So it leads to clear thinking in the minds of the manager as well. The next objective is delegation of authority. Now, HR policies help in the delegation process. The superior has more confidence on the subordinates because policies are already there, and he can trust the subordinate. He can delegate the authority to the subordinate because he knows that the subordinate will follow the policies only. Also, the subordinate will be willing to take up the responsibility because he knows that whenever there is a decision making situation, he can just refer to the HR policy. Likewise, it facilitates control also. So better control will be possible, and actually the HR policies, they are a kind of a standard against which the actual performance can be compared. So it helps in control process as well. Then the next one is orientation and training. So HR policies can be used for orientation programs and training programs of the employees. Moreover, as we have said that it helps in delegation, so you are creating a second line of managers to take up the a challenging job later on. So it's a kind of a training ground for the upcoming managers or upcoming employees also. So this acts as an orientation and training program also. Now next one is teamwork and loyalty. So when policies are there, it people have confidence in the organization, on the managers. There is a trust between people, and also between the employees and the management, and the employees, they also participate in the policy formulation process, which we will study later on. So since they participate, all the more there is a sense of loyalty among them, and a better teamwork can be created. Then the next one is the sense of security. So it acts as a sense, it helps in building a sense of security among managers also, because they will not be ridiculed to because of their decisions, as they can say that they have referred to the policy only. So if they stick to the policy, then there are chances of mistakes will be less. The managers will be confident in taking decision, and this will lead to sense of security among them. The next heading is types of HR policies. The first one is originated policies. These policies are an outcome of deliberate or formal effort of the top management. So they are formalized policies framed by the top management, because they want every area of decision making certain policies should be there. So they originate such type of policies. So this is framed by the top management. Then we come to the appealed policy. Now here, in fact, the subordinates or the employees, they have asked the top management to frame a policy. Why they have done that? Because for certain issues there might not be any policy, and they are little confused how to take decision with regard to that kind of situation. So they appeal to the top management to frame certain policies, and if such policies are formed, they are called appealed policies. Then comes imposed policies. Now imposed, as the name suggests, they are framed under certain pressure from the external agencies, suppose by the government or by the trade union, or by some social organizations, and because of that such policies are there. So one of the example may be that children cannot be employed in factories. So this is a rule given by the government, and because of that the organization might be having such a policy in the organization. So it can be considered as imposed policy. Then the next one is general policy. As the name suggests, they are not meant for a specific type of problem, but a general or broad for broad understanding of the people. So general policies are basically the philosophy of the or working of the organization, and the working of the organization is giving such a policy, general policy, like the time frame is maintained in the organization, or the work schedules are maintained in the organization, or promptly things are done. Now there is no specific policy, but it is that you have to come on time and leave the organization after completing your task or a particular time period. So that is a general policy. Then it can be a specific policy in the sense that specific to certain issues. As we have discussed, promotion policy, it is specific to the issue of promotion. If it is related to compensation, then it is a specific policy regarding compensation. Then policies can be written. Most of the time policies are written and they are known in advance by all the employees. So if policies are put into a document kind of thing, we can call it a written policy. It can be an implicit or implied policy also, which is not written but known to everybody, and people follow that policy. For example, suppose in an organization, honesty will be maintained, or no bribes will be taken by any employee. So this is an implied policy that honesty will be maintained, and that's why you should not take any kind of advantage, or you cannot take bribes. So this is an implied policy, might not be written policy. Okay, now we summarize the first part of the module 3, that is lecture 1, that human resource or labor or industrial policy provides guidelines for a wide variety of employment relationships. HR policies are standing plans and they are derived from HR objectives of the organization. HR policies helps in maintaining uniformity and consistency in the organization and facilitates prompt decision making. HR policies may be of different types as we have discussed: originated, appealed, imposed, general policies, specific, written or implicit policies. Thank you, students.